Welcome back to the Bible Reading Project. Today is Friday, and we've had a great week of reading Psalm 91 all week long.
Been good.
Has been good.
Learning it, man.
Yeah, it's good.
I think if we can get it in our heart over and over and over, and I think memorizing Scripture just has to be repetition, right?
Yeah, right.
Sometimes even bad habits can keep us from memorizing Scripture because we get lazy. I'll tell you a real quick story that'll relate to learning the Bible. I started playing the guitar when I was 14, right? There were no YouTube back then. I just had to wing it and figure it out, right? So got kind of stuck. I started learning theory, got some bad habits, and finally just kind of capped out at I'm probably as good as I'm ever going to get because I don't put the time in. And even when I try to put the time in, I have such bad habits now that it's harder to break the bad habit. And so a year ago, I decided I'm going to do something I've never done. And what I did was I put down all my guitars and I went and bought a classical guitar. And I decided I'll never again this year use a pick. I'll use only fingers and learn classical. About 7 months into that, I decided, okay, kind of like classical. It's different. I'm learning some new stuff, but I want to buy a banjo.
Yeah.
And so I bought a banjo, started learning a banjo. Well, just twisting it up and learning some different things broke a bunch of bad habits. And I picked up a guitar finally after a year and a half because why? What's coming up, Ryan? Tell all the peeps out there what is about
barbecue.
to happen. Blues and Barbecue is coming up. Tell the people a little bit about Blues and Barbecue if you don't mind.
So we are going to be smoking up some of Chris Redmond's famous Boston Butts. Really, really phenomenal.
It is good.
His own rub, and we are out there smoking them the night before. And then in the evening, we got some barbecue by P. Paul Mark. I mean, blues.
Some blues.
Some blues by P. Paul.
So back to that is when we decided we were going to do Blues and Barbecue again, right? It's like, oh God, I have not played guitar in over a year.
Yeah.
Like I practiced an hour a day before, and I've not. I mean, it's been all just classical guitar and it's been all banjo. And I'm like, dude, I have not played blues music in 2 years.
Yeah.
Like I've not picked up an electric guitar. Like, oh Lord, and I got a month before June 5, and so all the fellas are coming in because we put together a great band of people who are really super talented, which makes me feel weird because I don't think I am. So it was like, I got to get my guitar down. So I think it was back here. I took it down and I thought, all right, well, I got to figure this out, man. It's been a year and a half, 2 years since I played an electric guitar. Dude, I picked it up and it was just like, and I think what I learned out of that is it's amazing how much your life changes when you can break the bad habits that are keeping you held back. Right?
Right.
And I just took a year and broke some bad habits. And the moment I went back to playing guitar again, I was like, dude, that's amazing how, like, I astronomically got better.
Yeah.
Not even trying to get better.
Right.
Because I broke bad habits. I think the same, I said I would connect it to the Bible. I think the same is true with the Bible.
Right.
I think we have a lot of religious bad habits. We know stories, but they don't change our life. We don't get any better.
Yeah.
We go to church, but our habits with God are weak and anemic because we get stuck. Well, I prayed, but I read my Bible. However, I went to church, but, and so one thing I wanted to do this week, and I appreciate you kind of being willing to go there, is just maybe break the habit of laziness of not learning Scripture.
Yeah.
And I find myself kind of in that same category. I really haven't just sat down and thought, I'm just going to really learn Scripture again. Like just over and over, recite it every day. And I said at the top of the week that, man, it brought a cleansing to my mind.
Right.
It came out as weapons in my fight with life, especially last year with COVID. Robin got the diagnosis of breast cancer, and I'm quoting back, 1,000 will fall at my side, but it won't come near me, man. God's going to watch us with long life. And I even told Robin, I said, Robin, God says in Psalm 91, with long life will he satisfy us. You don't have to worry about dying young. Right. God will satisfy us with long life. And so that's, to me, kind of what I've learned about learning Scripture is it breaks the bad habits of just being lazy with the Bible. I read it, or I follow Bible reading, or but really to memorize it, you have to just sit there over and over and over, reading it and quoting it and thinking it and seeing it over and over and over. But the beautiful thing about that, I'm going to tell you what's so good about it. I haven't learned this passage of Scripture since 16 years old.
Right.
I'm 56. That's 40 years ago,
Yeah.
right? 40 years since I learned it. And immediately when we landed on Psalm 91 at the top of this week,
You knew it.
I knew it. I knew it. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He's my refuge, my fortress, my God. In Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver me from the snare of the fowler and the noisome pestilence. He shall cover me with His feathers, and under His wings shall I put my trust. His truth shall be my shield and my buckler.
Yeah.
Man, it just like, and I was not shocked. I was shocked. I was like, oh my God, I forgot how easy that once it's in you, it just comes out.
Right.
And so it really inspired me. Like my testimony as I read the Bible, right? Every day we try to inspire you to do it.
Yes.
But what Psalm 91 did for me this week is, but I'm kind of flunking with learning, memorizing it,
Right.
you know? And so that's my challenge to you. It's my challenge to everybody that watches. Let this passage of Scripture be the first you memorize and work at it to memorize it. And whatever version you like it in, you know, I mean, you can see I immediately went back to the old King James that I'd learned it from, but it showed me the power of kind of we can get in such bad habits of life that we just forget what's in us until we stir it back up. And so I just believe, you know, I really want to encourage people to just memorize it, you know, and whatever keeps you from doing it, I can't. It's too hard. I'm terrible at it. I don't have time. Just all those habits aside, and let's just learn it together. Let's hold on to it. We're going to give ourselves a week. So I want to come back next Monday.
Yeah.
So we got 3 more days left of this week.
Right.
But and then I want to see how well you know it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to test myself again. I'll dust it off and look at it. But then maybe what we could do, I think would be fun moving forward with the last half of the Psalms, is let's just pick a verse or two of the week and let's let that be our memory verse. And let's not just read the Bible, but let's start getting a verse a week that we can just hold on to and have a verse that we can recall to knowledge. And I think, you know, maybe it'll help us even become stronger in our faith as we end the 150 chapters of Psalm. We kind of a little over midway through, but we're getting into some good chapters that have some really great verses that we can begin to make part of the fight and part of our daily battle. So I'm excited about it, right? It's going to be good. So let's just jump in and finish it. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to read the whole thing. It's Friday. We're going to give ourselves a little bit of time this weekend. We want you to do it as well. And hey, it would bless us if just maybe at the top of next week, you made a comment. I learned Psalm 91.
Yeah.
And I'd love to hear from you to know that you did it and maybe what kind of difference it made in your life. We'd appreciate it. Here we go. I'm going to read the whole thing. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I'll say of the Lord, He's my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver me from the snare of the fowler and from the perilous pestilence. He shall cover me with His feathers, and under His wings shall I take refuge. His truth shall be my shield and buckler. Shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that walks in darkness, or the destruction that wastes at noonday. 1,000 may fall at my side, and 10,000 at my right hand, but it shall not come near me. Only with my eyes will I look and see the reward of the wicked. Because I have made the Lord, who's my refuge, even the Most High, my dwelling place, no evil shall befall me, nor shall any plague come near my dwelling. For He shall give His angels charge over me to keep me in all His ways. In their hands they will bear me up, lest I dash my foot against a stone. I'll tread upon the lion and the cobra, the young lion and the serpent I'll trample underfoot. Because He has set His love upon me, therefore I will deliver him. I will set him on high, because he has known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. I tell you, as I read it again, it just brings up, I'm reading through it, right? I'm thinking, I remember when I had this problem with, they said about Sophia. I don't know if you know this about my second daughter, Sophia. They said she had an incurable bone disease, right? Osteogenesis imperfecta. When we got the telephone call from the doctor that's what they thought was going on. And I just remember this thing rose up in me.
Yeah.
And no sickness or disease can come nigh my dwelling,
That's
right? I was reading it again. I remember when Robin said they gave me a biopsy, breast cancer, and I'm like, no, with long life will he satisfy us and show us his salvation. So I hope, this week my heart's been to inspire people, not just to learn Psalm 91, but how the Bible, when you memorize it, becomes your war, and it becomes your sword, and it becomes your bullet, and it becomes your buckler and your shield and your faith. And so, man, that's been my inspiration for the week. Thank you for hanging out with me.
Yeah.
Thank you for being part of what we do. I challenge you. I'm looking forward to it, right? It's going to be fun to learn it together and to quote it next week and see how well we do. I want you to challenge the students too.
Yeah.
And let's believe that they will learn it and they'll put it to practice as well. So thank you for hanging out with me. I love you. Thank you, guys, man. Keep doing it. Psalm 91 over and over and over. Let it become your warfare. Appreciate you hanging out with Ryan and I this week. We love you and we bless you with a great week.